Hello again, grade 9. Mr. Knapman here. I just want to take a second and talk to you about finding reading material, especially if you're working from home. I'm assuming that you're working from home. If you're working in a school building, you should have access to all of the books in that building, even if you do need to speak to admin or speak to someone to have access to the library or to a classroom library. If you're working in a school, you should have access to resources there. However, a lot of us are working from home or don't have access to a school building at the moment, so I'm going to talk to you quickly about where you can search or people who can help you search to find some reading material. So wait, where can I find some reading material if I'm working from home? There are some great apps, first of all, that you can use. There is one that I want to suggest straight away because it is free. That app is called Libby. I hope you can see it on here. Libby. Libby is an app that can be downloaded for iPhone, Android, whatever. And this app allows you to access books for free. Okay, so you need to have a library card. That could be a Saskatoon Public Library card, which you can go sign up for, or a Wheatland Public Library card, which is the library system that runs around Saskatoon in the rural areas. So if you have a Saskatoon or Wheatland library card, you could download Libby. You just type in your library card number, and then you can request ebooks, audiobooks and ebooks, I believe. Yes, audiobooks and ebooks. So an audiobook being one you listen to, an ebook being one you flip through and read on your screen. But the only thing about that being a free app is that you have to request copies. So here, for example, excuse me, is Where the Crawdads Sing, which is a very popular novel. If you are reading at more of a grade 10 level or an 11 reading level and you want a nice beach read that has a bit of romance and a murder mystery in it, then Where the Crawdads Sing is a beautiful story for you. However, since it's a popular one, you have to kind of place a hold on it like it's a regular library, and then you have to wait for someone to be done with that e-copy, and then you get it for free. Okay, so take a look at Libby. That is a free app. Again, you don't have access to books on demand. You have to request them, and you do need a library card. Okay, we'll get to library cards in a second, but each of you should definitely have one. It is free to sign up for a library card. Next up on apps, you may have heard of Audible. Do speak to mom, dad, caregiver, grandma, grandpa, whoever looks after you at home, or whoever takes care of you, and do ask about Audible because it is one that you do have to pay for. Somebody in your household may have an Audible subscription that you could piggyback on. I'm not quite sure how it works, but Audible is a paid option for ebooks as well, audiobooks as well. And then Kindle here is Kindle is an e-reader. So Audible is the audiobook version. I do believe Kindle being the on-screen ebook version. I do think both of those do charge you as well. Okay, but do have a look on your app store of whatever phone you use and do ask your guardian for permission before downloading any of these apps. Excuse me, but there are some free apps, and I'm sure I'm missing quite a few as well, that you could do some searching and find yourself. Outside of apps, there are libraries, and both of our local libraries do have e-reading platforms. So Wheatland Public Library, I'll speak about first. They are the library system that is in the rural area that caters to the rural area, mostly surrounding pertaining to us surrounding Saskatoon. So Wheatland does have physical library locations. For example, I'm here in Delisle, and I know there's a Wheatland library on our main street here in Delisle. I have seen one in Martinsville too, I do believe. So there are Wheatland libraries scattered throughout. They may be doing curbside pickup, or you could simply go into the library if you feel comfortable or safe doing that. Wheatland Public Library will also allow you to check out some e-resources. So I do believe they push you straight through to Libby, that app we spoke about last, and they have you register through there to get their e-stuff. Next is Saskatoon Public Library. So you can register for a Saskatoon Public Library library card, I do believe, for free. My mom got me a library card for free when I was little. She might have used grandma's address in the city, but we won't talk about that. I don't know. I think you can sign up for a Saskatoon Public Library card for free if you don't live in the city, but you can reach out to them and see what options they have. Again, free library cards are an excellent thing to sign up for. It does not cost anything. You have access to all of their books. And then the only time it might cost you money is if you're late returning them. But libraries are doing away with late fees to help all of us have access to books, which is incredible. So don't return them late, be polite, but it shouldn't cost you a penny. So there's Wheatland Public Library and Saskatoon Public Library right here. Explore the digital library. If you can get access to Saskatoon Public Library, then get into their digital library and you can find some books there. Prairie Spirit School Division I have listed here because we have a resource center at our division. Mom, dad, guardian, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, brother, whoever looks after you could contact the division and ask about the resource center. However, the instructor of this course or the teacher of this course could also sign out some grade 9 appropriate books from the school division and then distribute those to you somehow as well. The very last one, that would be up to the instructor of the course, so you can reach out to them if you are finding some trouble. We'll get to that on the next slide. But finally, with libraries, I want to mention the school library. So you do live close to schools, even if you're not attending a physical building at the moment. Speaking to a parent, a guardian, your teacher, or the school division about possibly borrowing some books from whatever school is closest by to you. Let's say maybe you're working somewhere near Dalmeny and you have the instructor you have your teacher reach out to Dalmeny High School and see if they have a few copies of certain books that you could maybe work out to borrow from them. So I did mention school libraries because, there are schools filled with books in all of our communities that I'm sure you could work out in an individual kind of circumstance how to get some books from that school library. Okay, so there are lots of library options there. And then finally, people. People have books, okay? So here, very first one, I have friends. Yes, the friends, not the New York friends. I mean, if you can find Jennifer Aniston and ask to borrow a book from her, that's pretty cool, but good luck. So ask your friends, okay? You might have someone close by to you who really likes to read and has a whole bookshelf in their room and you don't even know it. And it might be that might expose you to new types of stories that you wouldn't have picked up on your own. So ask your friends. They might make fun of you a little bit at first for asking about books, but hey, I support your reading entirely, so that's okay. Next, neighbors, right? People who live around you. Again, we are living in uncertain times, so you might not feel, I don't know what the context is of your life right now, your reality, but if it's not safe to go knock on a neighbor's door, then, maybe don't do that at this moment. Maybe pick up the phone or send an email, but talk to your parents and guardians. There are people who live around you. Try to think of someone who you've heard speaking about books before, that nice neighbor down the road. Ask mom, ask grandma if you can give them a call, and then work out to borrow some books. It's a great way to make connections with people, is to borrow some books, but be safe. Family. Let's picture a family there. Okay, I'm sure you have an aunt or an uncle or a cousin, or even if you don't have immediate family close by to you, or if you don't have family that live in province, or if you've grown up in a situation where you don't have family members directly around you, those people that are closest to you, right? Your caregivers, the people who get you to those appointments, just ask, what are you reading right now, right? Do you have a book that might be appropriate for me or for a grade 9 student? So family is important. There will be someone in your family, I'm sure, who would love to support your new reading habit or maybe your continuing reading habit. And then finally, your teacher. That is so important, okay? Your teacher of this course, reach out to him or her or them and do, speak to that teacher, to that person and say, I'm having trouble finding a book. Here's what I'm interested in. It's a great way to build a connection with your teacher, and they want to help you, right? That's why we're here. Okay, so there are some ideas for you to find some reading material for your choice reading. If you have any trouble, difficulty, trepidation, that means like doubt or fear inside of you about this, just reach out to your teacher and schedule a little video chat just to say, hey, I'm not too sure about this daily reading thing, or can you help me find a book or two? Okay, very last thing, grade 9, if you start reading a book and you don't like it, put it away and find a different one. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, and I hope that helps you find a book to get started with. Again, reach out to your teacher if you can't. Take care.